Hello, and welcome to the video lecture in LNG220 Phonetics. Today, I would like to tell you a little bit more about different types of voicing, or in other words, phonation. But we've already discussed how we produce voice, so let's just try and remember what we already know. We produce voice in our glottis, which is located in our larynx. And the glottis is the space between the vocal folds. And you have the four main states of the glottis here. So first of all, when the vocal folds are far apart, we produce no voice. So voiceless sounds such as p, f, and s. When the vocal folds are closer together, we produce whisper, or the sound ha. When the vocal folds are put together but not very tightly, that's when we produce voicing by regular flapping, regular vibration of the vocal folds. Ah. And finally, when we press the vocal folds together tightly, we'll produce no voice, which we can also use in speech, for example, in the glottal stop. Ah, ah, ah. So those are the four states of the glottis we already know. But there are also a few more types of voice that we can produce. And there are specifically three main types of phonation or voicing that you should know about. The first one is modal voicing. And modal voice is basically what you already know. This is the normal voice that we use to produce speech. What happens is the vocal folds come fairly close together, but the air still gets through. So when it does, they start vibrating. So this is the normal voice that we use for speaking, modal voice. But there are also two other types that I would like to tell you about. First of them is breathy voice. Breathy voice means that we simultaneously produce both the modal voice, normal voice, and whisper. So part of the vocal folds is together, vibrating, and part of the vocal folds is apart. So when that happens, we make voice like ah. There's some whisper and some voice. And you will see a video of what the glottis looks like, what the vocal folds look like when we produce breathy voice. And you will also see a video with an interview with the former First Lady of the United States, Jacqueline Kennedy. That's back from the 1960s. But still very often actresses, very often women, speak in breathy voice. And when you take the test, I would like you to think about what the meaning of that is. But the meaning is purely social. So some people will do it, some people won't do it. It will be interpreted in certain ways, but it doesn't change the meaning, what they say. Like whether I say very much or very much, it means the same thing, although it sounds a bit different. That means that breathy voice is used paralinguistically. It doesn't make a linguistic difference, but it does make some difference in the social perception. But there are languages that use breathy voice for a change of meaning. So you can have a regular vowel, ah, and the breathy vowel, ah, and they can create minimal pairs. Another type of voice is creaky voice. Creaky voice is produced when we press the vocal folds really close together, but the air can still push through. So they start vibrating irregularly, and it sounds like this. And you will see the video of what the vocal folds actually look like when you produce creaky voice. Again, creaky voice is not used linguistically in English or in Arabic. However, very often it does have paralinguistic social meaning. And you will see a video about that and about a study which tried to look at what do people perceive creaky voice as. But you might have heard a lot of people, especially on social media, talk with a little bit of creak, especially at the end of sentences. And again, when you watch the video, I would like you to think about what the interpretation of that is. And again, in some other languages, there are actual linguistic differences. So you might have a modal vowel such as a, or a creaky vowel such as ah, and they could create a meaning difference. So now I would like you to watch the other videos so that you see and hear what the modal, breathy, and creaky voice sound like.